Disappointed. I think Fran's face says it all right now for everybody. Certainly not the way we had it drawn up, but that's life. And, you know, the important thing now is what we do now about it. Say this for the guys that this was their last game. You know, there are very few, including the teams that have knocked us out of the tournament the last 4 years, that can say they've had the runs that our seniors have had. They can say they have the record that our seniors have had. They can say they played in, you know, for our senior class, you know, for our senior class, this is the shortest run they've been on. I think that's what stings. That's pretty remarkable. You know, there are a lot of teams that got knocked out today or last night that were happy to be in the tournament. You know, I think the disappointment from our end is we've not experienced getting knocked out this weekend as a group, as this core, as these 4 guys have gone through. So as disappointing that is, it's just as remarkable, I think. And it's a credit to them, you know. Huge credit to our guys. And losing is disappointing, but it takes nothing away from the program that we have.
Any questions for the student athletes?
Fran, obviously a tough time right now. Maybe it's not a fair time to ask this question, but when you do take a moment to look back on your career here, what will you see?
My teammates, first and foremost, have been the closest with those guys than I have in any team I've ever been on. So that's all I think of first. And obviously our coaching staff, they've done a great job. They've helped me expand my game a lot the past 4 years. Obviously the runs we've been on have been really remarkable. And you can't take anything away from that. Like, I mean, this program's taken me places I never thought I'd go. And I'll never forget 1 minute on the floor for me, and that's what I pride myself looking back on. It's a sad way to finish my career, but I couldn't have pictured it going any more worthwhile than it has.
How tough is it when you guys are filling it up last night and then it just wasn't there from behind the arc, or second half especially?
I mean that's ball, it's basketball, it happens. Sometimes, I mean, shoot your lows sometimes. I ain't to say that we shot our lows. I mean, not for 33, not too good, but they don't always fall. So sometimes you gotta get buckets other ways. And I mean, you gotta learn how to get to the line sometimes. And I think throughout the game, on a team that's playing man-to-man and us playing zone, I mean, for us to be only shoot 14 free throws and them shoot 28 and we in the 2-3 zone, I mean, we just gotta attack the rim a little bit more. I think we a little bit settled sometimes for too many threes. But I mean, sometimes throughout the season, it's probably the only game we probably shot this bad. So can't really just sit there and get frustrated or anything. It's just, like I said, it's ball. It just happens. Every night not gonna be a night. And tonight was one of the nights.
And it seemed like that kind of clicked for you in the second half. You had 7 assists first half. You only had the 1. It seemed like you were just determined to score. And what was that about? That sort of
I mean, I was still trying to get the assist. I mean, it's just sometimes when they packed in on you, and we got a lot of young kids, you kick it to them, they just don't want to shoot the 3 because they haven't been knocking it. So now the pump fake comes in the dribble, and when you pump fake and dribble, that takes away your assist. So I mean, it's still small things. I mean, we got 5 seniors. I think we also have 5 freshmen. So a lot of work. We'll definitely be back.
Coach's 5 freshmen that Aaron just mentioned. I guess that's one of the things that when the time comes for you, you're really going to look forward to that going into 2014, 2015, and the experience they had this year.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think as we look across, as we look at it from the inside, a lot of people say, well, you got such an experienced team. We have 3 guys with a lot of experience. We got 5 seniors. 2 of those guys are one-year guys. I mean, that just came in. We have 3 guys that have really played in the NCAA tournament, and these 2 and John Miller. So reality across the board, down the roster, we're an inexperienced team, but we're gaining value. I mean, listen, we've now got 5 freshmen who played in the NCAA tournament, that have won an NCAA tournament game, that know what it's like, and now understand next year as we go forward, when we talk about it in December, every possession matters, and yeah, you know, they'll have a better grasp of it, they'll have experienced it, they now know and they'll now get it. And I think it's one of those things that, you know, you got to learn. But I think we got a good group returning. I'm sad for our seniors that it went out this way. It's certainly not the way you draw it up. But again, like I said, this beginning, that's life. That's life. There's a lot of stuff we don't draw up that happens. You know, that doesn't define us. Losing to Stockton in the second round of the NCAA tournament does not define this program and what we've done in the last 6 years. Certainly does not. And, you know, what will define this is how we come back from it and what we do about it as a program. And, you know, we have 5 guys that will graduate, go be productive and do good things and look back on great careers here. And the rest of our guys are coming back, and, you know, I'm excited about that too.
Coach, can you pinpoint one aspect of the game where Stockton may have bettered you in some case, whether it was getting turnovers off of you guys or just in some cases maybe rebounding started to get a little out of hand?
Yeah. I think that those are the 2 things. Those are the 2 number ones we talked about. Take care of the ball and rebound the ball. And if we do those, we'll be all right. You know, I'm not taking a bit of away from them. I mean, that's to their credit. We knew what was coming. We knew how they could beat us, and they did it. So I mean that as a compliment. You know, but the only way they really scored was doing that, getting offensive rebounds. I mean, we looked at the halftime stats. We discussed it at halftime. Hey, they got 8 more shots up than we did. It's not a coincidence they have 8 offensive rebounds. I mean, there's a direct correlation there. You know, so it came to their credit, and I give them. They're good. They get down, they defend. You know, we did not shoot well tonight. They defended us very well tonight. There's a lot of those shots we normally would make, but I would say this. I bet you Bowden's saying the same thing. You know, and so what's the common denominator there? Stockton's defense. They do a good job.
Are you reminiscent of any other team that you faced this year, or remind you of any other team you may have faced recently?
No, not this year. I think they're different than teams we faced this year. And listen, I say that because we've played very good defensive teams and won. They're a very good defensive team and we lost. They beat us. And they did it on our floor. But I don't know that we've played a team like them yet, to be honest with you. You know, so.
Aaron, kind of give me the player's perspective of what it was like to play against them. Were they just sometimes more physical in certain aspects of it? Did they kind of surprise you with how physical they were at times, or just the way that they were able to match with driving?
To me, I mean, the physical part wasn't really there. Not to me, not saying it like that. I just think they out-muscled us as a whole, as far as sitting in the zone, and I think the zone's been good for the last couple of weeks and months. But I just think as far as we got to just start getting physical and getting the box out, and just can't let people walk in. And I think they were a little bit more athletic than us. And so, I mean, also myself, I mean, I got a couple tip-ins, easy putbacks right over my head, just like everybody else. I just think, I mean, it's really we got to get in there and get gritty like how they were. Everybody from the point guard got 8 rebounds. And he, as you can see, he's the second leader. I mean, we got to our guards got to start getting in there, getting physical. It's just, I mean, there's a lot of young kids on our team. So, I mean, as we're going to run into a team, I know for sure next year, the team's going to have a lot of freshmen, and we might out-muscle them and stuff like that. So, I just think they went hard to the paint and in the paint. I mean, really had no question for it. John Miller got in a little foul trouble, so, I mean, that's the biggest guy we really got. So, when he goes out, bringing in pretty much kids fresh out of high school, and they playing juniors, sophomores, senior big men. He's got out muscle. That's all I can really say.
Fran, tougher for you because you're running from around the corner.
It's not. It's a tough way to go out, but I mean, like I said, I couldn't picture my career going any other way here. Not exactly what I expected coming into the postseason this year. Like Coach said, this is the earliest we've exited the tournament in my 4 years. So I'm really at a loss for words right now. I wasn't expecting it to go out like that, so it's tough.
Anything else? All right, gentlemen, thank you. Congratulations on a great season.